Power panel now. Luke Ball, Republican strategist. Megan Hayes, former Biden White House director of message planning. So, Luke, a feminism section so that men who identify as women can feel what? More like they are part of women's issues?
Harris, this is not a policy platform that the Democratic Socialists have given us. This is the abolition of America. It's the roadmap to getting rid of the United States as we know it. And I have maintained this position for a while. I feel like the Democrats are about 2 elections away from strapping Karl Marx to a defibrillator, waking him up and running him at the top of the ballot. And the moderates, the centrists, the legacy Democrats have by and large been nowhere to be found. Listen, Harris, to these 2 juxtaposed policy positions and tell me which one's going to win out, because the Democrat Socialists want, as you just listed, extending voting rights to criminals, illegals, abolishing the Senate, eliminating SCOTUS, eliminating the presidency. But Hakeem Jeffries' response to these DSA members winning elections in his party's primary is the path is different, but the work is the same. Which one of those do you think is going to win out? I would submit, lastly, that the Democrat Party's conscience has been seared. They are numb to this, and they have allowed this weed to fester in their garden.
Megan, can you turn it around?
I sure hope so, but I would like to say that Democrat Socialists of America are not Democrats. Democrats believe deeply in capitalism. They believe deeply in the Constitution. They believe deeply in our
let me stop you right there, because I've heard you say this before, and I mean, I believe that you believe that. Absolutely. The problem with that is that your party is giving them money and resources to run as Democrats. They don't say anything else on those ballots in the primary. They won't say anything else on the ballots in the midterm elections. They're not going to say we're actually socialists. They say they are Democrat socialists.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem that the party needs to address. And I have, on this program, asked leadership why they are doing that. But I will say these are not districts, or these are not people who are going to win the Senate or the House majority. These are people in blue states getting bluer, which people can argue that's a problem. But actually, that's not what's going to take back the majority for the Democrats. These are moderates that are winning in their communities, that are putting up candidates that are actual moderate Democrats that believe in the democratic values.
So you're not concerned?
I mean, of course, I am always concerned, but I am concerned that we're making a lot out of very few candidates. There have been like 4 or 5 of them that have won in the last
Did you see the scroll? There are 27 names on that.
There's 27 out of 435 members of the House. That is a very small percentage that they have not won into their general elections yet, and may not win in their general elections. This is an anti-incumbency election cycle. The Republicans are facing the same thing. You lost 2 moderate Republicans. Now
the Republicans are not facing the same thing. The Republicans are not facing socialism. That is not what's happening. Although I will add to your point, there are more far left versus establishment Democrat matchups to watch for, because the list is getting longer. Arizona's primary is this Tuesday. Missouri, Michigan, and Florida are early August. 3 races in California will pit incumbents against progressives on midterm election day. Luke.
I would say that I feel too many Democrats are in denial of the party's evolution. They're not mourning the loss of their party. They seem to be looking the other way. And I also have heard the argument that these are not Democrat candidates. But to your point, Harris, they have a D beside their name.
Yes.
They're using Democrat resources. The moderates have accepted them into their big tent party. They have tolerated them. They've been afraid to speak out. Chuck Schumer's been terrified to say anything against AOC because she's going to primary him at some point. Folks have been terrified to say anything against Mamdani because he's the energy of the party. So if we can get past like the 5 stages of grief with the Democrats and start hearing them actually speak out against these members, we can have another conversation. But as it stands right now, there's a D beside their name, and that's why we have to call this out. I'm tired of having to like critique the Democrat Party and try to point members in their own direction to say, let's go against this, let's join hands and fight the tide here. But it looks like we're the adults in the room that have to do that for the majority of Democrats.
So Megan Hayes is an adult in the room, and I know you know your history. And what this is rooted in is what we already fought against and made a promise we weren't going to go there. People come from socialist nations to this one because it's the best. We fought people who were anti-Semitic because it was hateful and it was wrong. So who's going to stand up to those members of your party who are winning and who have aspirations beyond to just destroy the government?
That's a great question. I would like to think that the people, the moderates that are in Congress and in local offices now are standing up to these folks, and you see it in Michigan. The tides are definitely turning in Michigan. A new poll came out. Haley Stevens is 7 points ahead of Abdul Ayed. So I think that a lot of this is on the ground. The people are turning around, and the voters are going to have to be the ones that stand up. If the leadership isn't going to do anything and defund parties that are allowing these folks to run, then that means the voters are going to have to stand up, and voters are going to have to vote for their democratic values, and that's what I think that's going to happen in the midterms.
All right. Luke Paul, just last quick question. America needs its politics to be good, rich debates. Is that what we get when you get socialists?
Republicans actually get a unique opportunity here to defend their conservative policies, to point out the ridiculousness and the end goal of socialism. So as I hope Democrats recognize the threat that socialism poses to their party, I hope Republicans recognize the opportunity that we have to beat back these horrible policies and make sure that we stand firm on our convictions.
Luke and Megan, great to have you. Thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on